I played two very small roles in the play. And the first one was this great scene where she comes in and I played a guy in a morgue. And she's there to identify her sister. And I pull out a drawer and we have a conversation. And she's like, she looks so different, but she's been years since I've seen her. I'm like, yeah, people change. I'm like a young kid with headphones on, chewing gum. I'm like, yeah. And then at a certain point I go, oh, well, wait a minute. And I close the drawer and I open up a different drawer. And she's like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'll just give you a little time here with that.
Once we were spacemen.
I tend to play weird people, usually aliens and robots and things that don't have romance.
I once didn't get a job where they were looking for a Nathan Fillion type. Once we were spacemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Once We Were Spacemen. And by once, I mean we still are. Because that once time is the beginning of a time that still continues and will continue until our death, when we will become spirits in space. So we will still be spacemen with Nathan.
Oh my God. Do I send an emergency crew? What happened there at the end?
So I'm holding my mic because I can't figure out how to make it work. I had to disassemble it and bring it here to Hotlanta, as they say, where I'm working.
You're working in Atlanta right now. What is the project you're working on, Alan?
Well, it's a project called Superman 2 Super Duper, I think is the name. I'm not supposed to give that out.
Title? But is that official?
That's what's on all of my call sheets. Superman 2 Super Duper. The Rise of Gary, which is my character, the robot, named Gary at the end of the last movie, which was really great. And I was very happy to see that make it into the movie. It definitely wasn't a sure thing that it would make it in the movie. And I'm happy that when I showed up at work, I had Gary on my trailer door, which already, like, just stepping on set, I was filled with joy, which is definitely not always the case. That's just a given. You walk up, you see your character name, but my character was named Gary now, as opposed to robot number 4. Yeah. So so just stepping up to do a costume fitting, I started out happy.
When you do your costume fitting, are they dressing you up in anything robot-like?
No, it's the usual mocap suit that you see in many behind-the-scenes situations or outtakes and whatnot. Over the years, I feel like audiences have been educated on the basics of that technology, and it's actually a suit that ILM came up with. It's that gray suit with numbers on it, and it doesn't make sense to look at it like, oh, yeah, I see how that connects to the human frame. Reference-wise, but it's a digital thing.
Those suits, not very modest. Those suits, they kind of it's like the luge snowsuits they wear. It's little. Is it kind of like a tight, like a snug little?
Yeah. You gotta. Yeah, it's snug, and you gotta wear the right undergarments, or else people can see all your bits. You got to be careful
now. When you're not working, do you put on a robe or something so you're not wearing your suit at like the craft service table while people are trying to eat?
Nah, you don't care. Nobody cares because you're surrounded by him. So I'm Gary. I'm Robot 4/Gary, and Superman has other robots. So there's a bunch of other people out there, and everybody has their own body type, and we're all representing our own body type out there, and it's even Superman himself. He has a very immodest silhouette, David Cornsweet is there. So, you don't want to, it's like the one person at the orgy who's like, don't look at me. Everybody resents that person.
How is the, how's the attitude on set? What's the energy like? Are people excited to be back? Like the first one, that was a big success. People really enjoyed that first movie.
Yeah. Everybody's excited. It's early in the shoot, so it hasn't had a chance. I think towards the end of production, where you've had trials and tribulations, and your hopes have been dashed, and you're certain that this is the last project you'll ever work on. As that those moments can stack up, and where you're not quite sure of what you've done and what you haven't done. That sounds awful. Let me say that again.
Does that still happen? Does that still happen to you though? Does that still happen where you get like nerves, where you think, "Oh my God, what am I doing? This is I have no clue what's going on. Why did they hire me?" Do you still get like an insecure flash at all?
Not with motion capture roles. I don't. These roles tend to be easier because you're not on camera. You're referencing your character, but they erase you at the end of the day. And they can take your best take, and they can take your best take and put it with the best take of all the people around you. Which is why I improv more as a motion capture actor, because as long as the actors I'm working with, their side is good and follows the script, and the line that I feed them prompts them to say their line, I pretty much say anything. I don't with James Gunn, because he's not the kind of director who's like, just freewheel it. But like when I did K2SO in Rogue One, is that a name drop? Or was that me? I'm blowing smoke up my own ass. I feel like that should have its own. That was up my own ass.
Listen, this is a fact of your life. I don't think that that's self-serving. This is the facts. This is how Alan, you go to work. This is nothing you can do about it. You're not really tooting horn at all by any means. But here's my question.
Okay.
Someone out there right now is listening to this and going, "Oh my God, Alan Tudyk is like a very good actor, and he's like on top of it, and he knows his business, and he knows what to do when he hits the set. Like he's got years and years of experience and study and skill. And when you talk about a joke, you go into humor theory like this. You are in psychology and science behind it. Alan, what is something you can kind of bottle and just regurgitate so that someone like, let's say me, can steal it? All your hard work of years of experience, schooling, and just condensed into like 2 sound bites that I can go, I can use that. And then off I go and make a giant career.
I don't know, man. I think it's conviction, like if you feel it, like I felt, let's use the Superman. I wanted Gary. I didn't want Gary. I wanted a name.
Alan wanted a name for his character in the movie.
Yeah.
So then the character wanted a name for himself. Is that what you're saying? That's where it came from?
Yes,
it was grounded in reality.
Right. So I think it came from an ego part. It came from my ego that I didn't want my IMDb to say Alan Tudyk, Superman, robot number 4, because it sounds like a really crappy role. So I wanted for my own ego reasons to have a name. And I thought robot number 4 was just a terrible name for the lead robot, because he did seem to be in charge. And he had a quirky personality. And I guess I told David Cornsweet, plays Superman, and he was on board with it because he fed me something. He was right there on top of it. I've seen it in they posted that outtake.
I've seen this outtake, yes.
Maybe one day you'll give me a name.
4's a name.
So is Gary.
I just made the movie.
But it was my conviction that started the whole thing. I've had that in other. Definitely when I did Resident Alien, that was up my own ass. Okay, yeah, so like on Resident Alien, when I read the script, I'd be like, there's a joke there, there's a joke there, there's a joke there I'd like to do. And I could go to the creator of the show and say, here's the joke I'm proposing, here's the joke I'm proposing. And he would usually just let me, because we had years of experience together, he would just let me write in my jokes and even change. Respect to if there are any other Resident Alien actors listening right now, he'd let me change their lines or add jokes to their scenes. It's just what comes to your head when you see. It's like when you read it, you see it, you're like, oh, there's a joke there, or we're not paying off. You do this as well. You did this in Superman. There was a joke that didn't make it into the movie, but everybody laughed on set. What was that?
That's right, and it was also a scene with David Cornsweet. So here's where I'd like to toot David's horn. Like you were talking about.
Oh, you can't. You have to get permission to toot his horn. You have to say, "Do you mind if I toot your horn?" Then there's
Right.
because if you can't.
And for a very effective horn, you want it to be made of kryptonite. David is very concerned about making sure the scenes are great. He has that in him. He wants it to be of quality all the time, which is really great. But he's always open. He does a lot of hard work, but again, he's always open to what makes this better. What makes this better? But we were at dinner. We were talking about how excited we were for a scene after the kaiju fight, and the original line was after he says, "I was hoping we could do something a little more humane with this fella." My line was, "Oh, come on, man, don't be such a pussy," and he wanted to say, "Hey, guy," and kind of grab my arm and say, "Come on, there's kids around." And I pulled my arm away from him and said, "I said, don't be." And we thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, we thought that was pretty funny at dinner. And he said, "We have to try that. We have to do that on the day." And then on the day, I'd forgotten all about it. And he remembered and stopped James before James pursued, went on to the next scene. He goes, no, this is the thing we wanted to try. And so, we wound up doing it. And there was a big kind of an issue as to whether or not you could call Superman a pussy. And that didn't work out. So
because of that.
But the joke made it to the cutting room floor. But there is
it was
that
because of the language that it got lost, not because of it worked. That joke worked. Because the
bit
That's
worked.
Good.
They were very concerned about the setup for the joke was.
I get it.
They thought it was a little much for the kids to be calling Superman that, which you have to be understanding about that kind of thing. I totally get it. But you, David, two people concerned about what makes this great, what grounds it in reality. Some of the advice that I was asking for you was, what's the soundbite that you can kind of squish this down to? And what I'm hearing from you, Alan, is, what do you want? Be selfish, get to set, get what you want.
No?
Did I miss the?
Yeah, that isn't it. Although, I think what I was trying to say was you have to advocate for yourself, which is not always easy on set. Also, when you're in a role, in a lesser role, and it depends on who your cast is. When you're working with David Cornsweet as the lead, he's very generous as a scene partner. I've worked with other actors who are not that way. When you get to set with a director, if you're an actor out there and you get to a scene, if you haven't been able to do a lot of table work, which is my favorite way to do it, where you actually all go through the script together and read through it and deal with your issues and questions before you get to set, that's the best way. But if you get to set and you haven't had the opportunity to do that work, then all of those issues come up. And so they get dealt with by your hierarchy in the cast. So the lead, let's say Russell Crowe, has his issues. His are going to be dealt with. And then this actor, then this actor, then this actor. And if you're down, you're lucky if you get your concerns or your line or your changes in. But let's say I still haven't answered it, have I? Let's say
here's something I'm noticing, and tell me if you think
that I'm frazzled, sort of in a weird, like I drank 3 coffees this morning.
Oh my goodness,
the coffees out
Alan,
here are great.
You're a 2 coffee guy.
I know, and right now you're looking at 3 coffee. Alan is not very clear.
You're 2 coffee, and that was you come out of the coffee shop. You need a push door because you're holding extra coffee.
2 coffees.
2 for you, 1 for Carissa.
Yeah,
and now you're saying you drank all 3.
All 3.
So first of all, that's too many coffees.
Plus a sugar snack, which was delicious. Yes.
That sounded like Flula, one of our former guests.
Flula sounds like me.
I wanted to say that those characters could be related. Your character and then Flula Borg. I feel like down the line they share some ancestry.
Somebody tried to cast us. Yeah.
When you're working with someone, it's almost like an aura of concern. Imagine an aura of concern around an actor. And you can have an actor who comes to set and says, "I'm very concerned that what I do is good." And there's a very kind of a tight aura of concern as to around that person. Then there are other actors I've worked with, and I'll say, "You fall into this category." I'll say David Cornsweet, because we're talking about him, falls into this category, where the aura of concern is much wider. It's everything that is within his view, anything he can see. It's his aura of concern of how is this going to go stretches far wider. And he is one of those actors who says, how do we make this great for everybody?
Yes, absolutely. The danger with people who have this tighter aura, where they have their ideas and they come in and they've got let's say they have an idea for funny jokes that aren't in the script that they want to do, and they just force them on the scene. You can eat up a lot of time. Those actors can eat up a lot of time if they aren't considering the whole scene, the whole movie. Like a movie is always, when you finish shooting, it's way too long and you've got to cut it. So you start cutting the things that don't further the story, don't help what everybody's here to do, tell this story. Some people come in and just tell their own character story. I did a movie once, it will go unnamed, but it went 2 weeks longer. I wanted the movie to be done by the end of it.
You've talked about this.
Yeah.
You've talked about this.
This one person kept going, I've got an idea. And the director was very accommodating, and they'd start and I'd be like, that's going nowhere. I honestly, some of them I'd be like, I had that thought, but I crossed it off because it doesn't go anywhere. That's an easy joke, but it doesn't help anything here. We have to get to the next scene, and you're sending us in a completely different direction. So, think of the overall story, I guess. If anyone is wondering, if anyone tuned in today to go, how do I do it? That's how.
That's interesting. Because you're talking about the responsibility of the actor to make sure you keep it on point here. Like, what is going to move the story forward, and at what point are you serving the story, and what point are you serving yourself? We have spoken about this, and I love this. Also, too, there's a responsibility 2 weeks over because this guy is improvising. That director really should have kept that train on the track.
He was enjoying the process, I think.
Yeah, but 2 weeks over. Let's tighten that process. Another thing. Now, this leads me to a question. Let's talk about experiences with guest stars, guest actors, someone who is
like on a TV show.
You and I have shared an experience where we're on a program, and it's your house, and now guests are coming. Let's talk about that experience. The guest star that comes in. There's a way of being a welcome guest who's really good and stuff. And then let's talk about some of the kind of experiences where you go, oh my goodness, this is going to be an ordeal.
Yeah. I remember when we were on Firefly, there was one guy that was complaining when we were in the desert. We were way out in that up north on one of the Disney. Anyway, we were out on a planet, and there was a guy there, and he was complaining something about the weather or the something, and Adam Baldwin said, just shut him up, and said, what's not great? Somebody comes and guests on a show and just complains about our show to our faces, and shut the guy down. He's like, well, no, I just meant, he's like, stop it, be quiet, stop it. Like, it was a immediate, like, it was like, where does Jane end and where does Adam Baldwin begin? Because he was ruthless. And that was the first time I thought about it. Like, oh, wow, yeah. I mean.
That's a guy, Adam Baldwin. I mean, there's a lot of love in that man. He loves to work. He loves to he's almost boyish in his energy of attacking scenes. And he's got a process, and he works hard. I can't imagine him turning that switch on me and looking at me going, you need to shut up. That would be so horrifying and intimidating and awful.
Are we saying that he's scary? Sure.
A little bit.
He was cast in the right role. Like all people on that show, everybody was cast in the right role. And that's what made it, part of it made it so good. Yeah.
I can't imagine being on the receiving end of that. First of all, just the humiliation, just like, oh my God, I really stepped over it here. And then second, someone put it right in your face. And Adam, if Adam's had enough, you've gone too far.
Yeah, that guy, it shut him down. And then his character was killed soon after. So his character was fully shut down.
That's the first time you thought about the guest star being a issue?
Yeah, because I had never been on a TV show. I had done one episode of Frasier, and I had a blast.
Have you ever had to have an awkward conversation with somebody where you told them, hey, you got to get with the program here?
No, everybody that came on, the only time that I've ever been in a position that I would have been the guy to have to say it would have been Resident Alien. But even then, Chris Sheridan, who ran the show, he was on set every day. He was rarely not on set. So he would have been the one to say it. And yeah, so I never had to do that. But I don't think we had anybody that was out of line in any way.
You've never had that experience where you've had to say, hey, put a lid on this?
Thank God, no. I've always been like, my God, you're the greatest. It's always been luckily like, thank you so much for coming, spending your time here with us.
Good. I'm so happy that you've not yet had that experience.
It sounds like you may have had to have it.
I've had a couple of awkward conversations, Alan, where I've had to say, like, hey man, where would you rather be right now?
Here or at the bottom of an unmarked grave?
Every fiber of your being is telling me that you don't want to be here. And on top of that, you're looking for allies. Like, oh, I can't believe this. Can you? Like, I was like, I love it here.
Right.
And, these people are the people I work with every day. If you have an issue, come to me. It's unpleasant and it makes me resentful.
To the person. Yeah, I agree. It's, I hope you don't have to do it more. Although you are in one of the longer running shows ever on television. And that comes off of another long running show. So you've met a lot of guest stars. So you're going to have a lot more exposure to different personality types.
Thank you for the perspective, because 8 years on Castle and coming on 9 now, thank you very much, on Rookie. Yeah, I've seen a lot of guest stars. And for the sheer number of people that I've worked with, just the sheer number, it's almost not worth mentioning the times that I've had awkward conversations. That's how few times, yes. So by and large, people are well-behaved. It's like being a guest in someone's home. Being a guest on a TV show, that is not an easy ordeal. You are at the mercy of everyone in that cast. And I've guested on shows. How about this one? Let's talk about being a guest on someone's show. I have guested on shows where they are not happy. They, as a crew or a cast, they're not happy. They don't want to be there. And all I can think about is, get me out of here. Let me do my job and just go. And that's not my best work. I will tell you right now. Now, you go to a place and they say, hey, welcome. Come on, we're all going to go out for a smoke. Come with us. You don't smoke? Well, but you chat, right? Why don't you stay upwind and then we'll all just chat. But you hang out with us. We'll smokers over here and we'll just talk at a distance. And, just making sure I was included. Come join us for lunch. Right. Just making sure you're comfortable, making sure you're a part of it, making sure you feel invested and safe. And I learned a lot from those experiences. I try to make sure that people have that experience when they come to a show that I'm on. I want their best work.
You want to bump cigarettes? Or you want them to bum your
some smoke?
There's no cigarettes.
And there's a tax now. They will charge the crap out of you for sucking on cancer.
Yeah, I don't do it anymore. Only 19 years. Yeah, I'm finally quit. It's good.
Good job.
We'll see.
Good job.
We'll see if I'm out of the woods.
They told my grandmother she was drinking and smoking until she was very old. And they said, well, if it hasn't killed you yet, it's not gonna. So knock yourself out. They kind of told her that. But she did kick the cigarettes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess of the two, that's the one I'd put down if I had a choice.
She always had Bailey's in her coffee, though. Every morning she put Bailey's in her coffee. And then if she stepped away from her coffee, her dog would jump up on her chair and drink her coffee. So he'd be A, drunk, B, wired. That dog was a mess.
You'd have to give him cigarettes to calm him down.
It's true. It's true. She quit, but that dog could not. He could not.
I think it's something that could be said. And I love actors. Listen, I love actors. Whenever I meet somebody, that's just like, hi, nice to meet you. I just want to say, hi, I'm an actor. I'm always like, whoa, okay, cool. Let's talk. I like meeting actors. But a lot of actors are crazy. I think that's something I learned in drama school, that there's a certain thing, when you're coming up, you're young and people are trying to figure out where they go, what their strengths are as people, as humans. Some people who have huge imaginations, or they're odd, they're different, they go over there to the drama department. Let's see if your oddity is something you can turn into a job. And sometimes people are inspired or inspiring as actors, but only in a narrow band of their own quirkiness. You know what I mean? And so you can end up with people in acting jobs, whether it's drama school or on a show in a guest role, that are good at the acting part, but the social skills are a mess, or they can only do their best with certain conditions which aren't conducive to a professional job. So there's an you'll meet people who aren't well often, and it's tricky.
Then there's a phenomenon of the entertainment industry in itself, where at a certain point, first of all, you're just an actor. Just shut up and just do your thing. That's when you're starting. And then there's a point where it kind of turns a little bit, and then people won't tell you no. There's a level at which you get away with more. And if you're not grounded, if you are a little bit quirky, problematic, and all of a sudden you're kind of removing some guardrails of what would be considered normal reality, society, like something that would get you slapped at a Wendy's.
Right.
People are doing at work.
Wendy's a slapper, though. That bitch, I'm sorry. I don't mean to call her that, but that's just my experience. Anyway, yes.
She's as cold as a Frosty.
You cannot get it through a straw. She's as thick as a Frosty. Stupid is what I'm saying. I just called Wendy a stupid bitch. I realize this, and I want to apologize. I want to say right now, whatever we have that sorry apologies, I went too far. Wendy,
you love those fries.
I certainly do. The salt is smaller.
What was the best that you, to your recollection, something you think upon fondly as one of the best experiences you had as a guest actor on someone else's show? And it's okay if you say, with me on The Rookie.
That was it.
Oh, really?
It was really fun working with you. That was great. It was like, well, it wasn't like work. I have can I tell this story? I think I can. Enough time has come by. And okay, look. So when I was first starting out, I mean first starting out, I was still at school in New York. I did this New York Stage and Film is what it was called. Now this was a thing. It's not as big as it was back then, but in the summertime, up in Poughkeepsie, New York, they would do new plays. All new work. In the first part of the summer, they would do readings, where it's just a bunch of actors get together and they read a play for an audience. And then they were staged readings. That was like the next step. Then there was workshops of plays where you actually spent a few weeks working out some kinks, the writers there, rewriting, finding stuff within it. And then you put on a staged reading of that production. And then there were full productions where there was sets, there were costumes, there was all that kind of stuff.
That sounds amazing.
It was all new directors who are just popping up, just starting to really make a name for themselves in New York. Actors who you were like, oh, that's David Strathairn is an actor that I got to work with. If you don't know him, look him up. And you'll go, oh my God, that's David Strathairn. And that's where I did a workshop of Bunny Bunny, the play that ended up being the first thing I did off Broadway and started my career.
Was that your big break, Alan?
Yeah, it would have been the summer between my second and third year at school. Because I stayed up there. I just went to go do a reading with David Strathairn. And I did the reading and I got done. They said, you know what? We really want you to do this workshop with Alan Zweibel. And it's called Bunny Bunny. And you're going to play a bunch of different roles. So I did that. And then while that was happening, somebody fell out of a main production. A young actor fell out. And they said, would you stay on and do that? And I had luckily been saving my money from my burrito job that I was able just to go up because it didn't pay anything. And I did 3 shows. So I stayed up the whole summer and I met all these people and met directors. And it's how I got an agent. A director helped me get an agent after that.
Was that a guest role scenario though? Wasn't everybody fresh? Like I'm talking about you go to
everybody was fresh. Yes. Wait, this is my long story.
Oh, I see. You're setting it up.
So I'm setting it up. So I was there. I was at New York Stage and Film, and I was in a production. John Slattery, who you might know from Mad Men and many other things, he was in it. And David Strathairn was in this one as well because he lives up there or something, so he was available. And then this unnamed actress was there. I played 2 very small roles in the play. And the first one was this great scene where she comes in and I played a guy in a morgue. And she's there to identify her sister. And I pull out a drawer and we have a conversation and she's like, she looks so different, but she's been years since I've seen her. I'm like, yeah, people change. I'm like a young kid with headphones on, chewing gum. I'm like, yeah. And then at a certain point I go, oh, well, wait a minute. And I close the drawer and I open up a different drawer. And she's like, oh my God. I'm sorry, I'll just give you a little time here with that. So it's like a little comedy bit right at the top of the play. that introduces, that's the action that sets off the whole play, that her sister has died. And so we're in rehearsal, and this actress who was really good in stage and had like won things, big awards, was a terror. She was a terror. She was a terror. And it's why her career didn't go where it should have gone. She was like, listen, I wouldn't say any of this. Any of these lines with his character, I wouldn't say any of this. So she was already making the mistake of saying, I myself, my personal person, would not say these lines. Although the writer wrote those lines, so it would suggest that you would say those things. And since it isn't actually you, it's a character, why don't you try it on?
You're in luck. It's not you. It's your character.
So she comes in with that attitude. I wouldn't say any of this. So what we're going to do, holds up her finger, is we're going to cut. And she starts just sort of wagging her finger in the air. Cut, 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 cut. Flips the page. Cut, cut, cut. Okay. And then I'll pick up right here with the phone call. And the director goes, that was Alan's role. And I'm looking at my script like she just cut me from the play. And she goes, yeah, this is going to make it better. And he's like, no, we can't do that. Back it up. We're going to do this. Let's read through it. And she starts screaming at him. And he's just trying to defend himself. She ends up screaming, why do you make me yell at you? It was such.
Wow.
And it was like that almost every day about something. It was so difficult. And I questioned whether or not I was going to be able to be a professional actor, because that was my first experience of doing something professional. And I was like, if this is what it's like, oh my God.
That's horrifying.
Cut to years later, I'm on Frasier as a guest star. I just got off doing Knight's Tale. My hair's wildly red because I had just gotten home. I touched down and they were like, you want to do a thing on Frasier? I was like, yeah, I love that show.
Yeah, exactly.
This actress, I show up and there she is. She's on it. I'm like, oh my God. She's terrified. She haunts my dreams. And we're rehearsing. And this is why this is the greatest. This is why this was the greatest guest spot. It was great to work with everybody. They gave me leeway to have fun. It was a great group of people. Everybody was like, the main cast was really fun with one another. They played jokes on each other. They were laughing. They were really a family. And were very generous to me in letting me in. So that was one side nice. Of the greatness. The other part of it was I was doing a scene with Kelsey Grammer in the living room set that everybody knows from Frasier, with the one chair and all of that. And there was a restaurant scene taking place right next door. So on a sitcom set, the sets are just right there on the same stage. You just shift the cameras over.
Right.
And it cuts from our scene to that scene. We're doing a camera run through. So that we did one half of our scene, then we cut to the restaurant scene where this person is. And she starts the same crap that she was doing on that stage at New York Stage and Film with me, where she's like, I wouldn't say this. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do this. And it just everything grinds to a halt.
Oh my God.
David Hyde Pierce is one of the nicest men on the planet. And he's like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Then let's try to accommodate you this way. And everybody's trying to accommodate her. And the director was trying to accommodate her. And then she's like, you know what? My character wouldn't even be here. My character would just get up and leave. So I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to get up and leave, because I certainly wouldn't listen to these people talk about me this way. I would just leave. And she gets up, and Kelsey Grammer stands up. We were both on the couch. He stands up and goes, actually, with that big voice, what you would do in this situation is you would sit there and you'd listen, because you don't know what to do. So you're going to sit there not knowing what to do, just like the scene says. And she goes, I think that what I would do is sit here and not know what to do. It was a gift from God. I couldn't believe I watched
someone
She just repeated
what Kelsey said?
She repeated it like it was her idea. I would just sit here and not know what to do. It's what I do. And she sat the F down and finished the scene. Yes, so she just repeated exactly what he said. And that was the gift of that guest star for me. It was greater than any paycheck that I got. It was greater than, it was great. My mom got to see me on a show she liked. And that red hair gets another opportunity to be preserved on film
I can't get over just the justice, just that feeling of yes.
Yeah, and he just said, no, actually, what you would. He didn't even go over there. He just stood up where he was. It was almost like some kind of play where the people speak out and not to one another. He spoke straight out. She was to the left. He just stood up, spoke out, and sat back down, and we moved on. Oh, it was beautiful.
Wow.
It was beautiful. And then I ended up working with David Hyde Pierce later on Spamalot, and John Mulaney, who played the father. I ended up working with him on stage as well.
John Mahoney.
So, and also with I'm not going to know.
I saw that play.
Damn it!
I saw that play.
Wait, which play did you see?
When he played your father, I saw that. I went to New York. I saw that play.
Prelude to a Kiss?
Yes. Do you remember? I don't know. Well, you don't remember because I was in the audience. But for you, that was a very different experience. For me, you did a great job. You were up there on stage, and then afterwards, there was like a Q&A thing that we got to watch.
Yeah.
And it was really fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. I was at the Roundabout. So now I'm back in New York. Not currently, but I will be back in New York, hopefully. Yeah. I worked with Jane Leaves on a thing called An Evening Without Monty Python. I worked with John Mulaney.
John Mahoney.
And I worked with David Hyde Pierce for Spamalot. So I have a weird Frasier connection. Yeah.
We are going to have the lovely and talented Mr. Jim Rash as a guest coming up on one of our podcasts. He and I met doing a pilot many, many years ago, just after Firefly, called Alligator Point that didn't end up going. But Kelsey Grammer was the executive producer of that particular it was a sitcom.
No, what?
Yeah, he was around. And do
you have a copy of it? You must.
Do I have I don't think I do. You know what I had for ages was like life-size cutouts of me as a race car driver. I had that from that show. I had a bunch of Valvoline.
I'm surprised I haven't seen those.
Sponsored. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't keep them.
Yeah, that they're not in your house now.
This is a little side note here. We have merchandise for this little podcast of ours. I have a pitch for another piece of merchandise I think we should do. Imagine this.
Okay.
A cardboard cutout, life-size, of you. One version of you, one version of me. It's got a little motion sensor in it and a little chip and a speaker and a battery. You can charge it up a little bit, but when you walk past it, it senses you're walking past and it pays you a compliment.
This seems
what do you think?
Seems like something that, this would be a Christmas gift for 2026 Christmas. Who wouldn't want one of these?
Imagine walking down the hallway, passing by a life-size cutout of Nathan Fillion in your house. And as you walk by, he goes, whoa, 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 whoa. You look great.
And then do I say something or is it like alternate?
Well, you can get either version. So you would have to decide what your version said. So like someone could get the Nathan Fillion version and someone could get the Alan Tudyk version. So let's say I'm walking down my hallway and there's, right by the master bath, there's Alan Tudyk's version. I walk past and what does he say?
I'll hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave. Maybe that's wrong. That's not, that feels like I've crossed the line.
It works.
I'm tooting somebody's horn. You don't want in 2026 you get permission to toot.
That's just a little merchandise plug idea suggestion that I had. Okay. I also had another idea for if there were magnets of you and I that you stick on like a flat magnet that you stick on your fridge, and then you can dress us up with clothes that go over top of the magnet. You can just overlay it.
Oh, like
there's
like dolls, like paper dolls.
Yeah. It's like a cutout thing, and but you can just slap it on. It's magnetic, and you can dress up your Alan and your Nathan in their different roles for different things, or for
how naked do they get? I think that's the key. Like in any paper doll situation, I think the first thing you do is how naked can you get it?
Well, yours, if you took all your clothes off underneath, you would have a motion capture suit, and then for me.
Oh, it's true.
For me, it would be like dressed as a cop, and then you would take off the cop clothes, and there'd be like some underoos of like Green Lantern. And if you took those off, it'd be like another cop suit underneath.
You just, the farther closer to the core, the more cop you are. Well, I want to make a recommendation. This isn't for merch, but this is for the Patreon people. They need a name. Like, I don't want to call them our Patreon people. They should be called our space cadets.
Oh, I like that. I was thinking of like something Firefly centric, but I like this space centric more. It's more in the theme of the show.
Our space folk, our space trash. I don't know. We gotta. Maybe we do. We vote. I mean, we can like send out a thing to all the people who
we call our
signed up.
Patreons space cadets, and non-Patreons we can call them astronauts, but knots is spelled N-O-T-S.
I like it. Or can it be N-A-U-G-H-T? Astronaut.
Astronauty. I wanted to
yes.
before we go on, we were talking about guest star experiences. I had there was one I had that was kind of just negative, and I just wanted to, like I said, you just want to keep your head down and just kind of get out of there. No one's really having a lot of fun, and it was early on in my career, and I just didn't know what to do about it. I don't know. I mean, I feel like if I guested on someone's show now and it wasn't any fun, I'd make my own fun. I'd have my own time. I said, all right, I'm going at this alone. I'm only here for a week or so, or whatever. But one of the more positive experiences I had, I guested for a year, approximately, a season, on Desperate Housewives.
Yes.
And I had so much fun on that show. I had so many little adventures. I had worked with Dana Delaney, who played my wife on that show. She and I were guesting for the same season. I'd worked with her once before on a show called Pasadena, so we were already friends. That was one of those experiences where someone takes really good care of you as you're a guest, you're a stranger in a strange land. Dana was the one who made sure I was feeling super duper comfortable in Pasadena. By the time we got to Desperate Housewives, oh my God, we were thick as thieves. So
okay, can I just real quick, because I think we missed it. You're talking about Dana Delaney.
Name drop. That is an impressive IMDb, I'm going to tell you right now. So Doug Savant was on that program. He was on a little show you and I were on called Firefly. He played the Alliance fella who interrogated us. That's one of my favorite bits that you do in the outtakes.
He dropped like a stone.
When we're all being interrogated and your wife won't say anything. It's like, so you're not going to say anything? And then you're just you can't stop talking.
Yeah,
this interrogation. You took control of the interrogation. You're just going from one to the next, and that's what Patricia Casanti. First year, I had hair down there. If you know what I'm talking about, that I'll never forget that stuff. I laugh at. I've stolen that bit more than I've adjusted it, but stolen it more than I can tell you. So we had Doug Savant. We had there was another fellow on that show that was a guest on Two Guys, a Girl, a Pizza Place. So he and I had a relationship with him beforehand. So there's some people that I knew. And they were very cool and very caring. I met Kyle MacLachlan on that show, and he was exceedingly kind. Eva Longoria, we did a scene where there was a party. It was a party scene. There was a party game. They were playing charades at the party. In real life, when they were between setups, we were next door in a living room set, actually playing party games. I brought a little game called Catchphrase, where you have like this Frisbee with a word on it, and it's ticking like a time bomb, and you got to get people to guess the word before you pass it on. And let me tell you,
Eva
Longoria, very competitive. She's very competitive. And we played this game with Firefly people. We were actually playing this game when one of the names for celebrities came up, and it was Lawrence Fishburne, and they just pointed at Lawrence Fishburne because he was there.
Yep.
That was a wonderful
was at my house,
moment.
and that was my Venice. We were in Venice. That was great.
That was okay. There we go. So
good times.
Him, Lawrence Fishburne, got it, and then you move on. Yeah. So we were playing. We were playing that Catchphrase next door. People were screaming and laughing and having a good time. It was a party game next to the set where we actually filming the party game. I had a friend of mine visit from Edmonton, from a buddy of mine from high school, who was a huge fan of Twin Peaks, huge fan of Dune, and Kyle MacLachlan sat with us for a good hour and a half all told, just giving him the skinny on anything he wanted to do. And he's one of those encyclopedia guys about producers and directors, and he knows everything was happening at the time. And he had so many insightful questions for Kyle, who was so incredible to us. And Kyle, I mean, he's another fellow I've remained friends with over the years. That was probably one of my most glorious guest star experiences. I had such a lovely time.
It was a nice time, man. It was a nice time period in life. That was right. You did Waitress right in there. Mm-hmm. You were hitting. You're hitting some good stuff. You were working.
I had nothing but potential, Alan. What happened?
You just had to become you became too famous.
My character would never say, I would never say this line. My character would never do this.
Too much success.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was once on a set. We were working all day. It was right at the end of the day, and one of the other cast members comes in, and we were all guests. It was kind of like a one-off episode, so we were all guests. So it wasn't anybody's house in particular. But I remember this one actor came in and said, well, my character would never say this line from here. He'd say it from up there. And I said, well, tell your character that there's no cameras up there. Because we'd been there all freaking day, and we were there all day. And it was like, this is the last scene. We're just going to do this and go home. Like, everybody's tired. And he comes in and goes, everybody stop. And the whole thing grinds to a halt. My character would never say it from here. He'd say it from 20 feet over there, like 20 feet. Like that's the shaking my head. I'm going to tell you right now, Alan, that guy's career did not explode and go forward and
implode, but not explode. Yeah, it's a tough job, and there's I feel like there's a lot of people scamming you on the way to breaking in. There's a lot of, you have to deal with a lot of BS and a lot of shysters and all of that, and you get to a place where you're actually working with people who are doing the work, and you forget to turn off you feel like you're still a victim. You have to fight for everything. And chill. Be grateful now. Now just be grateful. You don't have to distrust everyone around you, and everything that people say is a way of trying to screw you over.
Alan, when you watch someone in a work environment shooting themselves in the foot, just doing themselves disservice, when you're watching them and you're just shaking your head going, what's the plan? Because how do you see this shaking out with you on top? When you see someone doing that, do you think in failure, they look back and go, I could have played that a little differently. Maybe this is on me. Do you think they reflect and say, what's my part in this?
I have no idea. I've moved on to a new job and I don't care. I don't know, man. I try not to. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I guess you just watch. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I've seen people struggle with their own demons, like that they are aware that they're inappropriate, but they can't help themselves, that they need a therapist or some outside help that will help them understand their emotions better and control their own emotions. But that's what some people need. And I'm not above that. I need my own therapist, but I'm sorry, you got your hand up?
Yeah, I often thought
not you. I'm sorry, not you. Right behind.
Sorry,
you.
The other guy? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, he put his hand down. Yeah, go on.
Oh, then I'll go.
Okay, you in the front if you're ready. Time for one more question.
Let's talk about being wrong. And when you're wrong, I have found the fastest way to get through it and beyond it.
Blame someone else.
Is to embrace it.
There you go.
No, I like yours. Let's go with that one. Point the finger outward. The faster you embrace it, the faster everyone can move on. Because when you are wrong, it's apparent you're going to be wrong.
Right.
And if you're to say, I thought this would be a good idea. It turns out it's terrible. They all can't be gold, guys. Let's move on. Let's not harp on this. Mm-hmm. As soon as you say, oh my God, I'm so terribly wrong. Whose idea was that? That was a terrible idea. Whose idea was this? This was my idea. Never mind, everybody. Let's forgive and forget.
That's a good way to do it.
I do it constantly. Embracing being wrong makes it so small. But there are so many people who are wrong and can't. There's that there's just no way. Admitting being wrong is just it's too
ugly.
intense.
But then there's also the, oh God, I screwed up. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do. I'm so sorry. And then you can beat yourself up for a while. That one is another one that drags it on and everybody's uncomfortable. Like, let's just move on. At least in filming or making something, you don't have time for all that bullshit. You just have to go, that was on me. Moving on. That's not as important as all that. The most important thing is getting the.
That is so entirely true. When I'm working with people, often sometimes someone's getting a little nervous or just for whatever reason they can't hold on to a line or they keep making a mistake on a line. You keep going back and they start getting into their own head and start going, I'm so sorry, but God, you guys, this is too bad. And I always say, hey, first of all, don't worry about it. We're going to cut around it. You'll never see the mistake on TV. So this is all going to end up perfectly. Second, if you make a really big deal out of not knowing your lines, all these people are going to expect that that's how people are supposed to act when they don't know their lines. And that's not how I act. So they're going to have expectations of me when I forget my lines.
Chill, please. Yeah.
Here's a little trick, Alan, I've done more than once. I started this on Firefly, one scene with Adam Baldwin. Super long week, super long day, late at night. He was having trouble with this one line. Mm-hmm. And I've done this before, and I've done it a couple times since. You tear that line out of the script. Your little sides you get because you have a little mini version of your script. So you tear that line out. I take a piece of tape and I glue it right between my eyes. I stick it right there on my face so that when the camera's behind me, whoever's looking at me is reading their line right from between my eyes.
That's generous. That's beyond generous.
The only time I've done it. I've done it on The Rookie a few times. I've done it on Castle. It's a long day and someone's just having a hard time. I get it. Here, just tear it out and stick it to my face.
If I did that, I would get a zit where I put the tape. And then, but I would, that's the kind of sacrifice I would do for someone. Mark Addy, who friend of the pod, a fellow spaceman. He did Around the World in 180 Days, something like that, with Jackie Chan. And Jackie Chan, his first language is not English, as most people know. He talked about having lines phonetically written like out in cue cards. Maybe I'm telling things out of school, but whatever. Mark, you don't mind? Mark's not going to listen to this. Nobody tell Mark. Nobody tell Jackie. He had like cue cards. But that's also Mark was like, look, just hand them to me. I'll do it because Mark's a really big team player. Truly, truly, truly one of the biggest team players I've ever known. I've never seen an actor grip like him. Gripping, like we need to, anyway, he's talking about somebody who's got that loose shroud idea that you were talking about, like carrying it like a loose garment. Anyway, he was holding his cue cards for him so Jackie Chan could say his lines.
You would hope that if you're doing a project where even the language is a challenge for you, that you would be working with someone as accommodating as Mark.
Nathan, I have a song that I need to, because this is just us. This is
what's Alan listening to?
What you listening to?
And this is going to go on my Spotify for the Space Cadets that can get. So I think the Space Cadets will already know this song. I'll just tell you just a little bit about this song. It is a song from Ozomatli, great band, Ozomatli. It is kind of it is a song that is on its face kind of funny. It's called Gay Vatos in Love. But the truth of this song is it's a Hispanic, Latin American songwriting team. And they sing a song about these two guys who are in love. And the Latin culture is very macho. You know, the language has masculine words and feminine words, and there's a lot of macho going on down south. And I don't mean in your pants, although there as well. They wrote this song that they mean it. Like, this is a song for the guys. Hey, these two guys are in love. They're gay vatos in love. And they're, hey, vato. You know, it kind of has like a hey, buddy, like, hey, brother. But it's hey, gay vatos in love. And they mean it. And they caught some shit from their fans. You know, come on. What are you doing? We're all macho here. We don't need this. And like, screw you. There's nothing wrong with being gay. And this is a song about two gay vatos in love. And I got that from the songwriter personally, because he's friends with Carlos Sosa, who wrote our
theme
music, our theme song. Thank you. Yeah, so I put that on the album. Raul Pacheco is his name, is the guy who wrote it, and he is one of the coolest musicians, man. They're just a different kind of cool. They're nerds. They're music nerds that are cool. It's like the cool. You know how nerds can be cool? They're that, but they're used to being in front of large groups of people with adulation that just infuses them with this different kind of cultural importance. Anyway, it's a weird kind of cool, but they're down to earth nerds. At least people like Raul are.
I wonder if there was a shift for Carlos. Like he was like one of the nerdy kids in band turned to like the ultra cool head of the horn section for many a band's composer.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Because if I made a list of like, there's some really cool dudes that I know. Carlos Sosa is on that list. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, man. So Carlos Sosa, Grooveline Horns. You can follow him on Instagram. You'll see what he looks like. He's just like, he kind of looks like a mob boss or something.
Yeah, like you want him on your team in a street fight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. But he's a musician. And if he gets punched in the face, it'll ruin his career. Like if they knock out his tooth, then he's screwed. So, not really a fighter that way. He's in the lover camp pretty solidly. But I remember being out to dinner with him one time, and like the owner came over and was like giving us free stuff all because of Carlos. Yeah, because he just seemed to own the place by sitting in the place. That's just Carlos. I don't know. I think it has to do with being on stage and being like that, the energy you're being given by audiences, by live audiences, and living inside the music. I mean, music is a powerful force, man. Like
performance, man. Yeah, he's the star of the show. That's the thing. When you are featured for your talents, I mean, people can look and go, "Wow, I really admire people who do things I cannot do," and the music is one of them. I have a pitch.
Balance a checkbook. That's one of them.
Remember checkbooks? I have a pitch.
Clean up after their dinner. I love those guys. Those are all the ones. People who can comb their hair. I love those guys. Anyway, yes, what? Brush their teeth.
My pitch is...
Wash their legs. Yes, what?
Wash their legs. My pitch is, let's do an episode where we'll split it up into quick segments, but we got to interview the people that are behind this show. We'll bring in Carlos Sosa. We'll bring in Siobhan Homan. We'll talk to Josh Levy. We can talk to Michelle Chapman. We can talk to Louis Jensen. We can talk to some of the people that we mention in the credits after the show.
You don't think that's going to be boring as hell? What am I saying?
I mean, I don't know what you're planning.
I have a feeling like I'm going to get the worst.
Like they're going to cut. My voice is now going to start to break up.
All of a sudden your voice is going to pitch really high.
Screw Alan, he thinks we're boring. No, I'm just trying to, we can't just talk, we're going to have to talk about other things than the podcast that you're already listening to. We're going to talk about that. Okay, got it. Sorry, please put my voice back.
Thank you.
Well, I think everybody is interested when you got to dig a little bit, but this will give people out there an understanding of who is it that's responsible for, I mean, here, it might seem to the world that it's you and I here, but there's a whole list of people we talk about at the end of every episode.
Right, we need to dig into the personal, those awkward, uncomfortable moments that these people.
These are people we have personal relationships with. We can talk about that for a moment. We can talk a little bit about their journey and then where they are right now and how they feel about this particular program. We can talk
warts
about that.
and all of it. Yeah,
Alan, this is our 33rd episode.
Wow,
we've done 33 of these things, man.
Jesus
Collision 33
Christ.
is the production company behind us. This is our 33rd episode. I'm just saying.
Wow. And we just collided right into it without even, because we were texting while podcasting. Bam. Nathan, do you want to go and say the things that we have that I don't know about you and you know?
Let's get to know you better.
Okay. Yes. Let's do
go.
that.
I know you and you know me. Let's get to know you better.
Start. You go.
I go. Mine's pretty simple. I have a few. I've been collecting these now.
Oh,
They
good.
come
'Cause
up.
I got nothing. I'm
You
gonna
got
be inspired.
nothing?
You know what? I was prepared for something else today. I honestly thought Jim Rash's episode was today. I didn't know it was just going to be you and me. I've been having a
It was
great time
still
talking
going to
about
be
work.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
let's go. See what happens.
I have 10 toes. You probably knew that.
Yes.
You just assumed it, but you were right. I have 12 toenails. I'm a freak, Nathan. I'm a freak. But it's not a good enough freak that I could get a career in a circus.
Are we saying that if your socks were to be removed,
I don't recommend it, but yes.
one of the toes would have an extra nail, or is it divided amongst 5 toes? There's 1/5 of a nail completing one total nail.
The piggy that goes wee, wee, wee all the way home on both feet has a toenail. And then on top of that toenail is growing another toenail. I have 2 toenails on each little piggy toe.
It's a double layered nail.
It's double glazing. It's what you're going to want to keep out the cold on your windows. It keeps out the cold on my little toe.
When the nail comes out, are
Freakish
they
and
joined,
ugly
or
to look at? Yes. What?
when you're trimming, do you need an extra strong? Do you have to clip twice, or do you once all the way through both?
It does require a special. You got to get down to the second one because it's growing over and it's a little further down usually. But it's a thickness and you got to push down. It's not a very big toe. Neither one of them are big toenails. It's not the littlest dots. Like sometimes you see those people who just have like a weird little dot of a toenail. But I have to give it a good hefty squeeze on the clippers to give it the clack.
When you go for a pedicure, does the lady ever say,
I don't get pedicures.
when did you discover? When did you go, oh my God, wait a minute.
When I was a kid and I was clipping my toenails and I was like, look at this, to my mom, like, am I normal? And she said, no, you're not. And this is the least of it.
You're adopted.
That would have been more normal.
We're putting you up for adoption. Now that we've learned about your toe is what happened.
Yeah. You freak. And they tried to put me in a circus. They're like, no, come back when he's got a 6th toe. We need 12 toes, not 12 toenails. This isn't good enough.
Shoving a pair of socks at you saying, never take these off. You will shame our family and our name. It's 2 dick, not 2 toenail. Thank you. Thank you.
Alan, 12 toenails. Nice to meet you. Dozen nails.
That is bizarre.
You didn't know it,
and
did
odd, and I was not expecting it. Is there an evolutionary advantage to having a double toenail, pinky toenail?
It puts more holes in my socks. It does. It grows out. Like one of them snags easier. I think it's the top one. It's like growing that direction. It's just one of the freakish things about me that I've just had to learn to live with. But at least I don't have like 19 nipples or something. You know, people with those supernumerary nipples all over their bodies. You know, and they're like, look, this is a nipple. Is it a mole? Is it a nipple? So that is mine. And it's crazy. But are you saying you don't have one?
No. Now that you shared that, it's not. I thought I might share my own toe affliction.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember Mad Magazine? The artist Sergio Aragonés, I think his name was?
While Sergio Aragonés was an artist with Mad Magazine, the artist you are thinking of is Don Martin.
I'm going to say yes.
Nope.
He had the weird,
of course I do,
kind of cartoony characters with long jaws. Their jaw was always long.
Yeah.
And their hands were always kind of up, their pinkies up, like doing like a Spider-Man web slinging thing. Their pinkies were always up, and their big toes were always sticking straight up in the air.
Right.
That's right. Is my affliction. My big toes are like kind of like double jointed. They kind of point up in a way that the very first thing to wear out on a pair of shoes. You know, when you're a kid and you wear your sneakers until they fall off. Yeah. The very first part of my sneakers to wear out would be right where the tip of my big toe rubs against the top of the shoe. Remember mesh shoes that were so popular because of Miami Vice? Remember Miami Vice? You'd wear a white suit with a pastel T-shirt underneath, and you'd wear mesh shoes barefoot.
Still wear it.
Barefoot.
Still rock it. Still rock that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Those mesh shoes, which I found very comfortable, we wore them constantly. The first part to wear off was right at the big toe. My big toe would exit that like a periscope coming up.
So your piggy went to market straight up. It was going north to market. This little piggy went to market up over there.
Yeah. How does it go? What's the first piggy do? No, the last
It goes
piggy
to market.
went wee. First, okay. So this little piggy
goes to market.
My market piggy is like,
which I think in your head, and at least as a kid, in your kid's head, I think it's important to point out the little piggy went to market. I always thought of him going to market to go shopping, but that little piggy was going to get slaughtered. So your piggy is going to get slaughtered. Yeah, because he's going to market, going to get sold, and going to become bacon.
Oh, I just realized that how dark that is.
That's pretty dark. So your piggy is about to get slaughtered. It's almost like God, he created your foot. Praise him. And then he came up with a bottle opener and went and popped it right up.
Yeah.
Straight up to praise be up, straight up.
It's like when I was like taking me out of the oven, like the when it was still soft, he kind of nudged against something and knocked the toe straight up and went, oh, it'll be all right. And just kept going.
He probably said shit first.
But that is something like in my psyche, it's always like a thing's like, I can't let that toenail get too long because it'll right through the top of my shoe.
Wow.
It'll claw its way to freedom. And I always think of that Mad Magazine characters with their fingers up and their toes up. I always think of them when I'm looking at that toe.
So we're both freaks, buddy.
You will not find an OnlyFans account for these feet.
I have a foot. Somebody sent it to me. There have been pictures of my feet taken on shows.
Has anyone ever requested a picture of your feet? Have you ever had that fan letter? Can I have a picture of your feet?
Besides Carissa? No.
That has happened to me. That has happened to me. Yeah. A young woman wrote to me on social media saying, can I have a picture of your feet? And I did not respond. And the next thing was, it's just your feet. And I was like, apparently it's not. It's not. It is not to you, just my feet. I felt all icky about that.
I was doing a play on, that's icky. There's something. It's nice though that people write letters, you know? It's nice that that's still going on. How was her penmanship? I was doing a play off Broadway where I was naked and playing a gay character. I was playing the first gay man, Adam, in an Adam and Steve play of Paul Rudnick called The Most Fabulous Story. And I got a postcard where a guy asked me to get together and bare ass. I was like, bare ass? Is that a thing? Is that how it works? We both just, what is slot A into slot A? I don't get it. Anyway, I guess that would be slot B for butt. Slot B for butt. But bare our asses.
You and I once talked about how when you joke about something in print, the joke doesn't come across.
Right, right.
I was once asked in a print article what's something that people would be surprised to know about you, and I said, I'm like 5 foot nothing. I stand on a box for the show. And this was my first show, like the soap opera. And I started getting letters from people saying, oh my God, I'm so inspired by you because I too am short. And I just, I felt pretty bad about that one. Come on, stand on a box for the whole show? Come on. How do I walk around? You tie boxes to my feet? Clip, clop, clip,
yes,
clop.
That's the inspiration.
That's not happening.
That's why I'm inspired.
I think we just came to the end of this particular episode. A fantastic job once again, Alan. It's so lovely to see you. Let's say this mission's been accomplished. As always, Alan, a pleasure.
Thank you for listening to Once We Were Spacemen. If you haven't yet, head over to our Patreon to get bonus content, longer episodes, and the chance to take home some incredible crap. The most amazing crap. The kind that does not smell. And if you love this show, please leave us a review. and tell your friends. Once We Were Spacemen is a Collision 33 production, whatever the hell that is. The show is produced by Michelle Chapman, Siobhan Holman, and Josh Levy of Collision 33. There that is again. I'm sick of it. Production services are done by Rabbit Grin Productions. Why is the rabbit grinning? I don't like it. Our theme music is from the minds of Carlos Sosa and Joshua Moore, and the playing of Fernie and also Rallo. And the artwork is created by Louis Jensen. Until next time.
Astronauty.